Coming up, the State College of Florida is changing the way high school students can get college credits. Plus, the Bradenton Marauders celebrating their 10th season with a new logo. And the federal government sending a text alert to your phone this afternoon. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, State College of Florida will no longer offer dual enrollment classes to students on area high school campuses. Instead, Sarasota and Manatee County students can get dual enrollment credits online or by going to an SCF campus. In a letter, the school superintendents of both counties say they are disappointed by the change. Dual enrollment allows students to earn college credit while also taking high school classes. Some protesters rallying this morning in South Sarasota County on the issue of red tide. ABC 7's Marla Spence was in Englewood where those protesters grabbed the attention of drivers along South McCall Road.
Although the latest red tide report seems to show the issue decreasing, some Sarasota County residents, like the ones behind me, are protesting and looking to get their point across when it comes to red tide. The group Englewood Indivisible is a group of over 600 residents fired up about red tide. Today, a dozen members met near a busy road holding signs, hoping to spread the word about how red tide has impacted the environment and the economy. Although areas seem to be getting better, one protester says she believes pollution is the cause of red tide.
It affects all of us. We're all going around coughing with masks on. We can't go to the beach. We can't really be outside our houses on a lot of days.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife will be releasing an updated red tide report on the latest conditions this week. Regardless of the outcome, the group is still planning on protesting and meeting at several locations across the Suncoast to promote change to the Gulf of Mexico. This group meets here at this corner at the Walmart in Englewood every first and third Wednesday. They plan to do so until they say they see results when it comes to red tide. I'm Marla Spence reporting in Englewood for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. You can find all of our red tide coverage online at mysuncoast.com. Just click on red tide. Let's talk about our weather now with meteorologist John Scalzi. We had a few scattered showers yesterday afternoon.
Yep.
I think we'll see more of the same today or less?
Much less.
Yeah.
Much less today. And we have a very strong easterly wind, which is also helping with the red tide.
Yes, it is.
So that's pretty nice. It's up near 10 to 15 today. So that's going to, first of all, keep the sea breeze away, making it pretty warm around here. But also help with the red tide. The latest red tide report, actually, from Mote Marine Spotters this morning shows a lot of green on the map, meaning no discernible red tide toxin being sniffed as you walk along the beaches, in those beaches that are, of course, identified there by the green flags. Now, that changes from time to time depending on how the wind blows, etc. But right now, that's good. That's about as healthy as I've seen it in some time, so we're always glad to see that. I'm sure it will change again by this afternoon, though, when the next set of Mote Marine Spotters go out to the beaches and they file their reports. So we're looking at a pretty quiet day here on the Suncoast. A few fair weather clouds, but not a whole lot, and certainly not a lot of loft to those clouds. Temperatures responding to the heating, a little bit drier. I don't know, it felt kind of cool and crisp compared to what we've seen in past days this morning. We had dew points in the low 70s, which is nice, not quite in the 60s, but still, I'll take low 70s over mid and upper 70s any day of the week. 84 Bradenton, 85 Sarasota. Temperatures pretty representative of that in other places as well. Strong east wind taking showers from the other coast and trying to sling them across the state, but the air is drier today, so a lot of those showers kind of just evaporating away before they ever make it to us. And we're not seeing much in the way of cloud cover around either. That's going to help boost our temperatures once again. Now, today's official daytime high record is 92, and that's what we hit yesterday. We could probably get pretty close to that and maybe tie a record here in Sarasota as we head into the afternoon. I'll go with about 92 for a daytime high, 91 by about 3 p.m., and only about a 20% chance for some showers today. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. President Trump spent last night in Mississippi getting laughs from the crowd as he mocked Christine Blasey Ford's testimony. But his son, Don Jr., denied the president was mocking her. Her attorney, on the other hand, posting a tweet calling President Trump's remarks, quote, a vicious, vile, and soulless attack.
How'd you get there? I don't remember. Where is the place? I don't remember. How many years ago was it? I don't know.
Blasey Ford's team says they've sent letters and emails to the FBI with no response. They're demanding to speak with agents in charge of the current investigation into Brett Kavanaugh. Today, President Trump is responding to a report in the New York Times that accuses him and his family of decades of enriching themselves through tax schemes and, in some instances, outright fraud. ABC's Elizabeth Herr breaks down the accusations.
A story President Trump has been telling for decades.
I started with $1 million loan. I built a company that's worth more than $10 billion.
Now called into question by the New York Times. They report Donald Trump's father, Fred, lent him at least $60.7 million. The Times asserting that overall the president received the equivalent today of at least $413 million from his father's real estate company, adding that much of the money came to him through dubious tax schemes, including instances of outright fraud. One of the reporters who conducted the investigation on GMA this morning.
We started with a simple question. He'd made around $130 million, and it was just such a juxtaposition from 10 years earlier when the New York Times had published 3 pages of his 1995 tax return where he had logged $1 billion loss.
Their investigation captured in this Showtime documentary.
Fred Trump's estate tax return is in the building right now.
The paper pointing to records that it says show the president helped transfer more than $1 billion of his parents' wealth to himself and his siblings, a sum that they report would have produced a tax bill of at least $550 million. But they say the family employed a variety of tax dodges, cutting that to $52.2 million. In response, President Trump tweeting, they used the concept of time value of money and doing a very old, boring, and often told hit piece on me. The president's personal lawyer called the allegations 100% false and highly defamatory, and the New York State Tax Department is now reviewing the Times allegations. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
For the latest on that story and breaking news and First Alert weather forecast, download our app, go to WWSB or My Suncoast in your app store. Looking ahead to the weekend, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is headed to North Korea with plans to meet with Kim Jong-un on Sunday. He's expected to lay the groundwork for a second summit with President Trump. The biggest issue, nuclear weapons. There's still no proof that North Korea has followed through on promises from the first summit a few months ago. Pompeo will also travel to Japan, South Korea, and China. Happening today, the federal government will conduct a test of the emergency text alert system. Most cell phone users will get a text message this afternoon. It's part of a FEMA system to warn people in case of a national emergency. The text will have a header reading presidential alert. It will read, "This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed." This is the first national test of the Wireless Emergency Alert System, which was launched back in 2012. Happening today in downtown Sarasota, police hosting Coffee with a Cop, the community event held at Pastry Art on Main Street, where officers answered questions and concerns from members of the community. Turnout was large enough to spill out onto the sidewalk. Police chief says it's a great opportunity for citizens and officers.
You know, you can't necessarily stop a police officer that's in a car or even if they're riding on a bike. This is a way for people to feel comfortable to engage with our officers and to talk to them about things that might be concerning or questions they may have about law enforcement, something they may have seen on TV.
Chief says the #1 issue people want to talk about, the homeless crisis in Sarasota. The Bradenton Marauders are celebrating 10 seasons on the Suncoast with a new logo. It features Marty the Marauder at the bottom of the black diamond, and in the middle is a large yellow number 10. Merchandise with that new logo will be available before the 2019 season, and celebrations are also planned to honor the team's history throughout the season. Still to come in your Suncoast News, storms slamming the Northeast and flooding from Rosa causes some issues for states in the southwest part of the country. And travelers around the world stranded as a major international airline shuts down.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now. In one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at an air temperature that is not too bad. Check it out. Hooray, yay, way to go, Earth. We have a dew point value in the 60s this hour. That feels really terrific. It's, for me, my way of looking at it, the first little hint of fall when you get a dew point in the 60s after prolonged months of dew points in the 70s. So that's nice to see. East-northeast wind coming in at about 10. We have an 85-degree air temperature. Air feeling just a little bit cooler, a little crisper, I suppose you could say. We have a heat index of 89, and we will see our temperatures rise up today to hit the 90 mark, I think. 3 p.m., maybe 91 with about a 20% chance of showers. By 7 p.m., I think that chance will be diminishing pretty rapidly. We have a couple of things going on in the atmosphere that limits our showers today. One, we have a strong east wind, and that east wind really is going to keep our sea breeze from building like it did yesterday. And without a sea breeze to clash into a general wind coming in the opposite direction, you don't get big towering clouds building on a peninsula. But we will get a strong east wind that'll send a few showers our way from the other coast. Also, some drier air in place means that a lot of these showers, as they make it across the spine of the state, start to kind of fall apart once they're removed from their Atlantic moisture source. Still, a few of them will make it across, and we will eventually see a scattered shower or two, but they will be just scattered. Otherwise, we're watching this line of big storms begin to develop and move toward the central Great Lakes, where there could be some very strong storms today, even severe storms. We've got a real clash of temperature structures. Look at what we got behind this cold front. We have temperatures in the 30s and 40s. In front of it, temperatures in the 80s. And this could be also the first big snowstorm of the season, with accumulations perhaps in the northern tier of maybe as much as 4 inches, 3-4 inches, certainly not out of the question. North Dakota and Wisconsin perhaps. Right now, we have a pretty good risk of severe weather, including some strong storms and tornadoes in parts of the northern tier, anywhere from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, all the way back to Traverse City, Michigan, and then up into the UP of Michigan. There's a good potential that a storm will be brewing that will become what we call a bomb, rapidly developing, intensifying, and moving off to the north and to the east, while we enjoy this big ridge of high pressure, which is not going anywhere. So none of the cold air I just talked about is going to make it far enough south because of this high pressure ridge anchored in. It provides us with the easterly wind flow and brings us sunny skies, a few afternoon clouds, warm temperatures, and not much in the way of showers. In this graphic, which shows you the amount of moisture available to produce rain showers, the cooler colors is the drier air. The redder is wetter, and that's what we had yesterday, the kind of humid air that was over us that brought us a few more showers. Today, very dry air. Tomorrow, perhaps, we start to work in a little bit more humid air, and that could actually help bump up our rain chances for Thursday just a little bit. So again, we're kind of riding that roller coaster ride of rain chances. So for today, we look for a daytime high coming in at about 92, 20% chance of rain, double the rain chance tomorrow with a high of around 93, perhaps a little bit warmer. Than as we head into the weekend, I think it'll be fairly dry as well. Next work week, we'll bump up the chances of rainfall just a little bit, and we'll be watching the tropics as we head into next week. We'll talk about that in the next half hour. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. People in several states are dealing with severe weather right now. The storm's bringing significant damage, including historic flooding in some areas. Reporter John Lawrence gives us a look at the damage.
A tornado plows into a Pennsylvania nursing home
and took out one of our villas and took a roof off one of our hallways.
The National Weather Service says it was an EF2 with winds estimated at well over 100 miles per hour.
16 years I've been an employee at Rolling Fields. I've never seen something like this, but I think everyone's doing great for getting our elders out and safe.
No serious injuries reported. Cleanup is also underway in parts of Connecticut. Severe weather toppled a bunch of big trees in New Canaan. A storm system brought heavy winds and torrential rains to much of the area. Major weather problems on the other side of the country as well. The remnants of Tropical Depression Rosa brought buckets of rain to the southwest. Major flooding in Phoenix, where emergency officials had to rescue a woman from a vehicle stranded in high waters. Crews also saved a man stranded in Scottsdale. Some roadways are also restricted as a result of the rains. Utah residents are getting ready for Rosa. A group of volunteers in Payson spent much of Tuesday filling sandbags to help fight the floodwaters.
Water damage is pretty serious, so if we can keep the water out of somebody's house, that's awesome. If this saves somebody's house from flooding, then that's a good thing.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Danish airline Primera Air has unexpectedly ceased operations, leaving passengers stranded at airports all around the world. This week, flights to Washington and New York from London were grounded. Passengers were told not to return for their flights. Passengers traveling back to the UK have been told they need to make arrangements on their own. Primera filed bankruptcy because the company failed to secure long-term financing. All right, it's time for lunch, so let's head over to the kitchen and check in with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. And Judy, I spy some steak, I think.
Close. We're having lamb shoulder chops. That's an inexpensive cut, but you're still going to get that great flavor. So for about $6.99 a pound over at Whole Foods, I thought this is great. I can feed a family of 4 and maintain that budget. So what I'm doing right now is I have some chicken stock and barley, and I'm bringing that together with a tablespoon of butter or oil. The butter oil makes it a little fluffier. This is just a great dish with mushrooms and marsala wine in itself to be a lovely vegetarian offering. I found pumpkin goat cheese today, and so I decided that I would use a blend of regular goat cheese and pumpkin goat cheese, being it is this season. We'll bring that together with some fresh new ideas to use in your kitchen for seasoning and serve it all up with a delicious mushroom mix. So stay with me, it's going to start cooking soon.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
The Players Center presents the wild Broadway season opener, Annie, Get Your Gun. There's no business like show business. This slice of magical American musical theater will thrill you with the classic tunes of Irving Berlin. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. Annie, Get Your Gun, September 18th through October 7th. Let's go on with the show.
There are lots of people who are confused about which Medicare plan is right for them.
Hey, that's me. I barely know where to start.
Well, start here with me, Karen. I'm a licensed Humana sales agent.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Karen. I'm John Smith.
Hi, John. At Humana, we know you're unique, so you have different needs from other John Smiths.
Yeah, I've always thought so.
And together, we can find a plan that's right for you.
Great. I go to the doctor a couple of times a year, and I have some prescriptions, but I'm never fully sure of what's covered and what's not.
With Humana's all-in-one Medicare Advantage plans, you get coverage for hospital stays, doctor visits, and Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable and sometimes no monthly plan premium.
Do you have any more information?
Sure. I'll get a decision guide in the mail to you today. They're free.
Finally, someone who understands the real me.
Your health and happiness is important to us. Call or go online now to get your free decision guide. Call a licensed Humana sales agent today.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
In HealthSmart, October is National Bullying Prevention Month, and a form of bullying parents may not be aware of involves food allergies. Allergists say it's a growing problem in schools. Children who have food allergies can have a dangerous and potentially life-threatening allergic reaction if they eat or come into contact with foods they're severely allergic to. Research shows 1/3 of kids have reported being bullied because of those allergies. Bullies have tried to use foods like peanut butter to threaten or taunt kids at school.
Comments like, we can't have parties because of the food allergies that Jimmy has, or more aggressive where they're saying, you know, I'm going to hide peanut butter in your food.
Dr. Hong urges parents to be aware of warning signs like not wanting to go to school, feeling nervous, or not eating their lunch. Well, we're all guilty of not wanting to cook some nights and picking up some fast food on the way home from work, but you're not alone. A new study shows 1/3 of all Americans ate fast food today and yesterday and the day before that. In fact, every day, nearly 85 million Americans eat fast food. And while poor diets are often associated with poverty, researchers found the more money you make, the more likely you are to eat at fast food restaurants. Americans tend to turn to fast food the most for lunch and the least for breakfast, with dinner right in the middle. No fast food in the kitchen today. Let's get back to ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Judy?
Okay, Scott, straight from scratch. I melted down a little butter, let it slightly brown, so it basically, if the pan's hot, you can just put the butter in and it will brown naturally. So we're going to take cremini mushrooms that are cut into wedges, and then I have some shiitakes that I'm going to use as well, because this is basically what we're making is a mushroom marsala. And like I said earlier, this is just, here come the shiitakes. This is just a great dish without having to work with any other protein at all, because we're going to put some sour cream and some goat cheese in a little bit. Now, over here, I have barley that's cooking away. Take about 10 more minutes with some chicken stock. You can use beef stock, you can use vegetable stock, you can even use water. Now, I have a couple seasonings, a little bit of sage is coming into the season, and garlic salt. So let's get some of that going on the mushrooms. And After about 2 or 3 minutes, we're going to start to saute out some sliced shallots. It'll be really good. So, nice hot pan. I've seasoned the shoulder lamb chops. You know, you can also find these veal lamb chops, the veal shoulder as well, but they cook up beautifully, and it's real lamb, so it's the ideal situation for a dinner party for 4 people at $6.99 a pound. That's going to work really well. So we're going to talk about a couple other new seasonings I have in the kitchen. I always say, you know, it really is a spice of life. This is something that they just brought over that's fairly new from the Spice and Tea Exchange. And it's officially called, it is called the Spiced Ham Seasoning. And what I love about it is I get this teeny bit of clove, but I don't want to overpower the lamb since it has that gaminess to it. So it's just a hint of that's what we're going to get. And we're going to wait about 4 minutes. And as you start to see that this pink blood that comes up, that means it's about time to turn it. I also like to just turn so they all get equal amounts of heat on the stove. Obviously, my pan's just a little bit bigger than the burner, so I just like to move it around whenever I'm cooking with that. Now, the mushrooms are starting to saute, but there's a lot of mushrooms in the pan, so let's stick in another pat of butter, that delicious Irish butter. For something like this, it doesn't have to be unsalted butter because you're going to be adjusting the taste, so whichever you have. When I bake, has to be unsalted butter. Now, we have 1 clove of garlic, 2 sliced shallots, and we'll let that saute down. When we come back, let's add the Marsala wine and start bringing this dish together with some creaminess and pumpkin goat cheese.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like. Then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
Coming up, new guidelines in place for how FEMA deals with natural disaster cleanup. Sarasota police host a get-together to meet community members, find out the #1 complaint they heard. And voter registration sets a new record. We'll take a look at the numbers.
You're watching ABC7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Senator Bill Nelson and Governor Rick Scott facing off in their first debate last night. Governor Scott portrayed Senator Nelson as an ineffective failure, while Nelson cast his opponent as untrustworthy. On the issue of gun control, both candidates talked about the shooting in Parkland, and on immigration reform, Scott called Nelson ineffective. As for the Kavanaugh confirmation hearings, Nelson says he will vote against Kavanaugh's nomination, while Scott showed support. A second debate is set for October 16th. Excitement surrounding the midterm elections is as high as ever. This year's National Voter Registration Day broke the previous record set for new registered voters. Last week, more than 800,000 people signed up to vote in the upcoming midterms. Voter registration for those midterms is still open across the country. The deadline to register, October 9th. Happening today, Pope Francis will celebrate Mass ahead of Synod of Bishops. 4 cardinals will preside over sessions attended by bishops from around the world to discuss the Catholic Church sex abuse scandal. Those meetings will be held at the Vatican today through the end of the month. In consumer news, President Trump and China have been escalating the trade war with new rounds of tariffs. But what does it all really mean for consumers? Well, for starters, you can expect to see prices soar on home appliances. Things like refrigerators, vacuum cleaners, cooking appliances have been hit with tariffs. A new sofa will cost you roughly 2 to 4% more now. As for electronics and travel items, prices are going up there as well. The hardest hit, the auto industry. If you're car shopping, keep in mind that more than 100 different auto parts like tires, batteries, and brake pads have already been targeted. But our forecast is free, so let's get that now with meteorologist John Skulls.
It's a good thing I don't have any money.
Yeah.
So we're looking
Keep
at
saving.
What?
Keep saving.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So we're looking at some pretty nice weather out there. Yeah, I don't know if you were out and about this morning before the sun rose, but boy, it was kind of a crisp, cool morning.
Not bad. Yeah.
Cool. Well, coolish, sort of.
Not so warm.
Not as warm. Hey, I'm looking for anything in terms of some cooler weather. Yeah, we're not going to see temperatures really dip down all that low for a period of time, but at least if we can lower the dew point just a little bit, the humidity, I think it feels just so much better. And that we have done today with dew points now in the upper 60s. Feels pretty good. The drier air will also limit the number of storms that we see, plus limit the number of clouds that we get. So we'll have temperatures that'll still be on the warm side, coming in near the 90-degree mark. But it's not the heat, it's the humidity, right, Scott? So, hopefully it'll feel a little bit better. We have temperatures across the region that are generally in the mid to upper 80s right now. That's 2 or 3 degrees below where we were just 24 hours ago. So that's kind of nice. As far as the rainfall chances go, they're at about 20% today. Few scattered showers coming in from the other coast may move through the area later in the afternoon after the daytime high in the low 90s has been hit. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a few.
Thank you, John. Down to the devastation in Indonesia. First an earthquake, then a tsunami, and now an erupting volcano. Right now, millions are trying to find food, clean water, and a way out as the death toll climbs to more than 1,400 people. ABC's James Longman is in Palu.
Nothing stood a chance in the face of that massive 7.5 earthquake and the tsunami that followed. This morning, Sulawesi's islanders picking through the remains of their lives.
This is right where that wall of water came to shore. And if you look where we're standing, these are the floors of people's homes. Just the floors remain. Everything else is gone.
Officials saying the death toll has risen to over 1,400 people, leaving more than 800 with severe injuries. Those numbers set to rise. At the airport, the rush to leave.
And you can see on the tarmac, massive planes with civilians waiting, lining up to get off this island. Many of them won't have homes anymore.
Those planes filling up with evacuees quickly. As supplies are unloaded, people are loaded in their place. Not everyone getting on the aircrafts. We met this man and his son, who were just turned away as a plane reached capacity.
4 days.
4 days.
And here.
You've been waiting 4 days.
They tell us they've been sleeping in the airport, waiting to be evacuated, trying to get on the next flight as the threat of aftershocks loom. With buildings left damaged, rescue teams working to get to parts of the island they've not yet reached. Officials say the number of people affected is expected to rise as teams get to those areas.
James Longman reporting there. FEMA is being faulted for inadequate oversight of debris removal operations after Hurricane Irma last year. The lack of oversight left FEMA vulnerable to fraud and waste. Debris removal costs after Irma totaled roughly $1.5 billion in Florida and Georgia combined. And of course, it took months for that debris to be picked up. In order to ensure disposal operations are efficient for future disasters, 3 guidelines have been put in place now. First, FEMA must develop and implement rules and procedures for debris removal and oversight of operations and contractors. Second, FEMA must develop a risk-based approach. And third, FEMA must identify a quality control method for verifying debris collected and claim for reimbursement. A Northwest Florida sheriff's deputy used a stun gun on a man who tried to run away after driving a stolen tractor. The dash cam video posted by the Washington County Sheriff's Office shows the deputy initiating the traffic stop, during which Charles McNeil provided a false name and an invalid driver license. He then tried to run away to avoid being handcuffed, and that's when the deputy used the stun gun to stop him. The U.S. Postal Service is hiring throughout Florida, including right here on the Suncoast. The agency is looking for rural carrier associates, which includes a salary of about $18 an hour. To apply, you must have a valid driver license, clean driving record, and at least 2 years of documented driving experience. The applications are open until Sunday. Happening today, the city of Northport will be replacing the docks at Dallas White Park. The park borders the Cocoa Plum Waterway and offers canoe and kayak opportunities. Construction is scheduled to begin today, and it should be complete in about 5 weeks. The boat ramp and dock area will be closed during that time, but the kayak launch will remain open. All right, back to the kitchen now. A lot of sizzling going on over there. Here's Judy Gallagher.
You got that right, and I have to say, I love how John Scalzi is being so positive that it's a cool day out there. I'm ready to put my sweater on, or at least cook like that. It's amazing when the dew point goes down just a little bit, you're gonna be more inspired in your kitchen, like I am. So let's get to the mushrooms. We have some shiitake and portobello mushrooms, also known as bella mushrooms, and now I'm going to add some Marsala wine, anywhere from 1/3 to 1/2. Oh, it smells. The aroma is so good because remember, we have a little bit of that brown butter that we started off with. Just a hint of lemon because we want to have a little acid in it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of that pumpkin goat cheese that I found at Whole Foods, and along with some regular goat cheese. So the pumpkin goat cheese is just like a slight taste of pumpkin, really feels like fall. So you can see we're all in it. We're all into the fall theme no matter what the temperature here. So we just kind of move that around and gently, as we lower the heat, let that goat cheese kind of marry in there. Now, the barley is just about done, so we're going to go ahead, and it's okay that there's a teeny bit of extra liquid in it because I checked and the barley pearls opened up great. Now you can also use something like a whole wheat orzo or even a wild rice, and I laughed because I even found, look at this, a pumpkin farro pilaf. So all sorts of different grains that you can use while you're making this. If you wanted it to be totally no grain, just the mushrooms with the goat cheese and parsley is going to be so delicious. You can use mushroom broth, which is really easy to find nowadays. Most stores are carrying it. And then we're going to do some fresh parsley, and we're going to do some sour cream. Now you can use some reduced fat sour cream. Don't cook with the fat-free sour cream. Couple reasons. One is it's obviously a chemical process in how they remove it, but two is it becomes too loose and you need some depth when you're cooking. Look at this, this looks so delicious. Oh my God, so you can see where I just said this could make the perfect vegetarian dish. And I will be making this year for Thanksgiving for friends that are coming over that are vegetarians. But for my carnivore people here at ABC, and certainly for my family, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this beautiful, mushroom barley. And we're just going to put a pork chop right on top of that. And when we come back, I think it's time for lunch. We'll take a taste and we'll tell you where to find the recipe.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com.
Ghetto's got it.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we have an 85-degree air temperature, but what I really like is the dew point value in the 60s. I've been waiting for this, to tell you the truth. It kind of makes the air feel a little bit more comfortable, even if we do get into the 90s today. If a dew point value stays in the 60s or even low 70s, it just feels so much better than if that dew point is solidly in the mid 70s. Then it really starts to feel sweltering. I'd prefer to see a dew point value in the low 60s, but what are you going to do? East-northeast wind comes in at about 10 right now. A little northerly component to the wind, and that drier air aloft kind of filtering down to the surface, helping out a lot. It's going to reduce our rain chances today, though. The 3 p.m. rain chance at about 20% with a daytime high temperature coming in again in the low 90s. It is entirely possible we could hit 92 today, which would tie an all-time record. 78 degrees by around 7 p.m. It gets darker sooner now, so we'll see the temperatures kind of fall off a little faster during the evening hours than we have. Showers coming in, riding on that brisk east wind. A couple of reasons why we won't see the showers quite as strong as we would have a couple of weeks back. One is a strong easterly wind kind of prevents much of a sea breeze collision to occur. Keeps that sea breeze really even from forming. And plus, we have a limited amount of moisture in the atmosphere today, which is causing a lot of these showers to just sort of evaporate before they ever make it too far to the west. Now, eventually, a few of them will make it a little further to the west, and as they do that, we'll get a chance at seeing some showers around. I think most of the showers that we see are going to be in Hardee and DeSoto County. as they get closer to our coastline, they really are going to fall apart for the most part. So don't expect to see a lot of rain in terms of rainfall totals today. Low pressure area building, rapidly developing. A little bit of moisture coming in from the Pacific, creating some very bad flash flooding conditions in parts of New Mexico and Colorado over the course of the next couple of days. That's what's left over of Tropical Cyclone Rosa. And this low pressure area moving eastward will rapidly intensify and produce a severe weather threat for parts of the northern tier. But for us, we don't have any such worries. We have this big ridge of high pressure that has been persistent. It's not going anywhere. It stays right through the weekend, and it is going to really prevent any kind of large-scale systems from approaching us. It does mean no cooler air, but it also means some pretty quiet weather. General easterly wind flow will continue picking up moisture from the Atlantic coast and kind of trying to sling it back in this direction. I think tomorrow we have a little bit better chance of rainfall as we moisten the environment just a little bit. But for today, mostly sunny skies, maybe a few afternoon clouds, but warm again, and then maybe a few afternoon showers, but not that many. We're watching two systems very carefully. Of course, we have one, Leslie, is no big issue for us. It kind of meanders out in the Atlantic and really doesn't do much. But disturbance number one bears watching. This has a 30% development chance over the course of 5 days. Now, as I mentioned, Leslie is a hurricane now, but it is forecast to kind of generally lift to the north, get involved with a trough of low pressure, and eventually fade out by probably Monday of next week. Tropical Depression 1, on the other hand, is in an area that is will be favored for development. Right now, strong wind shear is kind of pushing it all apart. This is where we might see something develop. This is where the majority of clouds are occurring and heavy convection. But the two might become more co-located as we head into the next several days and upper level winds relax. Should that occur, we'll have to watch it because generally these storms lift northward. And while I don't think it would produce much in the way of a strong windstorm, it could produce quite a soaking for some parts of the Gulf Coast or perhaps the Atlantic coastline. So we'll be watching that into the weekend. Northeast wind coming in at about 5 to 10 becomes a little breezy during the overnight. We'll look for a 20% chance of showers today, double it tomorrow as the slug of moisture comes our way. And then as we head into the weekend, we'll reduce our rain chances once again, keep it warm. And as we head into next work week, we'll carefully be watching the tropics and see what, if anything, develops from that moisture in the Caribbean. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Google Maps unveiling new features designed to make commuting more enjoyable. You can now control music straight from the Google Maps app. Starting this week, you'll have access to Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play while navigating. The app has also added a commute tab, which gives users one-tap access to live traffic updates and alternative routes. Two automotive giants are teaming up to build the next generation of self-driving vehicles. Honda is joining forces with General Motors. Honda plans to invest $2 billion over 12 years in GM's autonomous vehicle subsidiary called Cruise. Honda's engineering and financial assistance will allow Cruise to start working on a new vehicle, not based on any existing car. The idea is to build a self-driving vehicle with no controls for human operation. Well, Jeffrey the giraffe might be getting his job back. A planned bankruptcy auction for the giant retailer, everything from the name Toys R Us to the image of Jeffrey the giraffe, has been canceled now as leaders try to revive the brand. Toys R Us announced it was ceasing operations in March, and then in June it closed the last of its stores, but could possibly now make a comeback by sometime next year. We'll wait and see. Still ahead on your Suncoast News, we'll check in one more time with Chef Judy in the kitchen, and then the most famous car chase in movie history, the best one, is coming back to theaters.
Rugs as Art. You know the name, you know the building, but do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore, but there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991. Now, in one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
It's not so easy when I give you a plastic fork and my boning knife, right?
That's all right. It's worth waiting for. It's delicious.
Good. Now this
Really good,
is,
Judy.
you know, I like that we could use the creaminess of the pumpkin goat cheese, which is clearly my thing today. I was on The View earlier. You got very excited. Do I have pumpkin on my nose?
you're good now.
Oh, that's a good friend.
You
Thank
know it.
you. So, how do you feel about the lamb with it?
I love it.
A lot of times you do pork in this style.
I love it.
But
I love
good.
the barley, too.
Yeah,
Really
barley
good.
is so wonderful.
We don't
and
use it enough.
We don't, and you notice those ancient grains are all coming back. They're good for you, they're balanced, and a little bit goes a long way. I'm glad you like it.
Recipes on our website, mysuncoast.com. Go on there, click on the dining link button. It'll take you right there with all the video instructions. Judy, this really tastes great.
Thank
for
you.
For an almost frigid day
For
like
a
today.
chilly day.
Scott?
Wishful thinking. All right, thank you both. Coming up on ABC 7 News at 4, why communities are starting to the long recovery from Hurricane Florence will need to pay close attention to federal deadlines. And we'll hear how much red tide has impacted the need for assistance from the Salvation Army. Hope you'll join us later today at 4 o'clock. In entertainment news, one of the most famous car chases in movie history hits theaters a half-century ago, and it's now coming back. Well, you can now see it in select theaters here in the Suncoast. David Daniel has today's Hollywood Minute.
Fasten your seatbelts. Steve McQueen and Bullitt are racing back onto the big screen for the film's 50th anniversary, complete with the legendary car chase through San Francisco that helped it win an Oscar for film editing. Bullitt plays in some 550 U.S. theaters on Sunday, October 7th and Tuesday, October 9th.
It's a story of hope.
Janelle Monáe is staying busy. Variety reports the actress and singer is working on a pair of films. She's joining the casts of Harriet, about abolitionist Harriet Tubman, and the animated movie Ugly Dolls, for which she's also expected to perform original songs.
They say sometimes you gotta hurt a child in order to help them, but a mother knows when something isn't right.
Boy Erased is one of 3 movies featuring Nicole Kidman, due out by year's end, and she'll also pick up another trophy. Kidman is set to receive this year's Hollywood Career Achievement Award at the 22nd Annual Hollywood Film Awards, November 4th in Beverly Hills. The Oscar-winning actress will be recognized for her acting and her support of independent filmmakers, especially women. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Emoji lovers we have some new ones to share with you. Apple releasing several new ones this week, including a llama, swan, bagel, frisbee, and a mosquito. You have to update to iOS 12.1 to see them. Apple plans to add 70 new emojis later this month. And now a discovery of 3 baby bears in Nevada played out like a storybook tale, only with less porridge and more firefighters. Jeremy Roth has it in today's. Take a look at this.
Firefighters in Reno, Nevada conducted a unique rescue right outside their own station. Crew members say they woke up to the sound of a dumpster tipping over. The dumpster investigation turned into a rescue operation. Not one, but 3 bear cubs were trapped inside the overturned bin. While one firefighter attempted to coax the cubs out, another recorded video. Here's my favorite part right here. Freedom! Whoa, whoa, whoa! All 3 scampered safely back into the woods. Firefighters later tweeted that a concerned mama bear oversaw the entire operation. The FAA is investigating an incident in Pennsylvania where state police used a helicopter to break up a group of rowdy tailgaters. Police say fans were, quote, getting out of hand outside Penn State's Beaver Stadium and refused to leave. So they sent in a low-flying helicopter to break up the party. Things didn't go as planned. Tent poles, tarps, and debris became airborne, injuring at least 1 person. State police said the chopper was deployed simply as another tool to curb dangerous behavior. Kind of like fighting danger with more danger.
Okay, I don't break up a party.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Artificial wind, I guess. There.
I guess. We have a nice east wind today, which is helping. I was out at Siesta Key the other day, and I tell you what, I didn't smell a darn thing.
That's good.
It was great. We had a nice time out there, dining out, and it was lovely. So get on out to the beach and support our local businesses, because we got some green flags flying today.
That's nice to hear. Yeah, great to hear. Judy, thank you for lunch.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. And thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again later this afternoon at 4 o'clock. So until then, have a wonderful day ahead.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Thank you.
What are you doing? You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Watch Suncoast View weekdays at 9 a.m. on ABC 7.